En la Piazza della Signora, en Florencia, se reunió un grupo de franciscanos junto a jóvenes de su diócesis para realizar una danza colectiva con un mensaje muy importante: la promoción de la libertad y el amor. El video fue colocado en YouTube durante el mes de octubre y se ha vuelto viral, sobre todo por el talento y energía de los jóvenes franciscanos. Estamos de vuelta en un show con Tuti, hoy descubriendo y reconociendo a religiosos modernos, así le hemos puesto, porque a lo largo del tiempo nos hemos dado cuenta que el mensaje tiene que llegar siempre actualizado, el mensaje de Dios, el mensaje del amor, el mensaje de la espiritualidad. Es bueno cuando llega en el lenguaje en el que se está hablando en la actualidad. Y afortunadamente coincide con la visita de un pastor muy interesante además a nuestro país. Él se llama Nick Korir, él es de Nairobi y nos da mucho gusto hoy recibirlo en un show con Tuti. Bienvenido, pastor, ¿cómo está?
Thank you. Very well, thank you. How are you doing?
Muy bien, también. Okay. Casi que lo trajimos del aeropuerto, ¿ah?
Okay. Yeah, I just got in this morning.
Sí.
Yeah, so I'm still recovering. Yeah, exactly.
Eso es bueno. Yeah. Lo interesante de su historia, hace 17 años más o menos, me comentaba que decidió ser pastor. ¿Por qué?
It was a long journey. By that time I had finished university. I used to study science in technology, and I was studying how to be an engineer, renewable energy engineer. And as soon as I finished that, I started working in a country called South Sudan. It's just north of our country.
Okay.
It was a war-torn country at that particular time. In the project that I was studying in, that I was working in, there was a school. And I used to go to that school and interact with many young people in the school. But I was doing a project, but on the side I was interacting with young people. So each time, because they didn't have any teachers, I would finish my work at 4 p.m. and then I'd go to the school and start teaching in the school from 4 p.m. in the evening to about 9 p.m.
Wow.
I interacted with these young people for about a year. And as I interacted with them, I developed a heart and a desire to impact young people. So without me knowing, God started putting in my heart a burden to be with young people as opposed to be with machines and to be with boreholes and things like that. And my passion became young people.
Wow.
And at the end of that year, God told me, this is what I created you for, to be with young people. So at the end of that year, I resigned, and I decided to go and become a pastor for youth. And I have been a youth pastor for 15 years. It's just 3 years ago that I moved to pastor others, and not just young people alone. So I've been a youth pastor ever since, and that's what God placed in my heart.
¿Qué tienen los jóvenes que apasiona tanto a religiosos en general, a personas que están en contacto con esa parte espiritual y religiosa?
In Africa, specifically in my country, in Kenya, but it's the same in the whole of Africa, 70% of our country is below the age of 30 years. So a majority of the country is below the age of 30. In our country, you see young people that are vibrant, that are energetic, young people that are passionate. That's contagious. It's contagious. You want to be part of it. You want to be part of young people that want to dream, young people that want to see and experience life in a totally different way. Young people are also very inquisitive. Sí. Young people will challenge you. They will, put you on the spot. They will ask you questions. And I just wanted to be on the cutting edge of my life, where people challenge me, where people inspire me, where people energize me, where people allow me to dream and allow me to see bigger things than I've ever seen in my life, and where young people are also impressionable. There's a proverb in my country: if you want to bend a tree, bend it when it's still small, when it's young. So they're moldable. It's the time where if you do something in their lives, you'll see it later on in their lives. And I just thought, this is the best place to invest in somebody who is excited about life, who is passionate, but also who is impressionable. Someone who can be molded, somebody who can be shaped and to be guided in the right direction. So for me, it became a perfect fit, and I've never turned back ever since.
¿Es fácil llevar el mensaje de Dios a los jóvenes cuando parece que en ciertas edades, adolescencia, sobre todo inicios de la juventud, existe un cierto rechazo a todo?
It's not easy. Yeah, and I think that's why I like it, because it's a challenge. Sí. It's not easy because young people will not take the message as you've put it. They will ask you questions. They'll put you on the spot. They're at that rebellious stage,
Sí.
where they're challenging everything.
Sí.
So everything you say must be and will be challenged. And it's exciting to be able to ask somebody and they don't just take it for how it is. And then you walk with them and break it down and show them how to do it. For me, the more exciting thing is seeing them leave the message and decide to do something else, then realize later on that this was the right way. And they come back. And there are so many that do that. It breaks my heart when they don't do the right thing. But I know at the end of the day, they're going to learn and they're going to come back to the right way. So they challenge, they question. They're not just going to take it in as it is, but also young people challenge you to present the message differently.
Eso, y justamente a eso quería llegar, porque parte de las diferentes
Yeah.
maneras en que lo ha hecho usted en su país es a través de la motocicleta, que de alguna forma se relaciona mucho con rebeldía, ¿cierto? ¿Cómo ha sido tomado esto?
Okay, when many people in my country, when I'm introducing myself and I say I'm Pastor Nick and I'm a motorcycle rider, pastor, motorcycle,
Sí.
it doesn't go. It doesn't go together. And I like when I see people are confused about the image of a pastor
Sí.
and a motorcycle. But when you tell young people the same thing, they're like, that's cool, that's exciting.
Es cierto.
You see, so it's a contrast for people who are used to a certain way where religion is concerned, where they look at religion from one eye. But now we're looking at religion from literally 20, 30, and it keeps expanding as you go along, different eyes. Religion must be appropriate. It must be appropriate. It must fit with where we are today. It can't be old, it can't be irrelevant, it can't be outdated. It's obsolete. Then why have it if it doesn't apply to my life today? So for me, riding motorcycles is a passion. I started riding motorcycles when I was 15.
Uh-huh.
I was introduced to riding motorcycles by my dad. He used to ride a motorcycle and he used to put me on top of the tank of the bike and take me for rides around our compound. He loved doing it. So it's a passion. So when I became a pastor, my other passions don't die. In fact, my being a pastor, my being a Christian, my being a religious leader should find a place where everything I'm passionate about
Claro.
can be expressed. So for me, motorcycling is a passion. I love riding motorcycles, and because I am a pastor, I have made it have a place in my life. So several years ago, I decided to use it to be able to reach out to a generation. And how I'm using it, to be honest right now, my greatest passion is to educate young people. In our country, 50% of the young people that go into primary school, I don't know if you call it primary school
Sí.
in Guatemala, 50% of the ones who finish primary school don't get into a high school. 50% drop out because we have free primary education, but our secondary or high school education, people have to pay. Many of them can't afford, so 50% have to drop out. For the longest time, my greatest frustration was the 50% that drop out, the 50% that don't get the opportunity to go ahead in school. So I got frustrated and I said, I have to do something. I have to do something to educate the ones that don't have the opportunity. So several years ago, I decided to ride my motorcycle from Nairobi, which is in the eastern part of Africa, all the way to the southern tip of Africa, Cape Town, and back to Nairobi.
¿Cuántos kilómetros son esos?
25,000 kilometers on a
Wow.
motorbike. It took me 2 months.
¡Wow!
Yes, 14 different countries, all the way, to be able to raise funds so that the church can participate in educating
Wow.
young people that are underprivileged. So for me, that became my greatest expression. I'm using the passion that I have so that I can be able to respond to a generation, to a need in a generation, and in our context, the need is education.
Y eso creo que es un gran ejemplo precisamente para estas generaciones, para darse cuenta que lo que nos apasiona nos puede ayudar a servir a nuestro gran propósito en la vida. Me queda un minuto nada más de entrevista y quisiera preguntarle, ¿qué mensaje cree que es lo que la juventud o Guatemala necesita? Yo sé que no conoce Guatemala, es primera vez en nuestro país y deseo que sea una buena estancia, pero ¿cuál cree usted que es el mensaje que el mundo necesita más que nunca acerca de Dios y la religiosidad o la espiritualidad?
I think, because you said 1 minute, I can talk about youth for the whole day. But if you give me 1 minute, it's exactly what you've asked me. Religion is not old-fashioned, okay? Religion needs to be appropriate for the time. But the second thing I want to say is religion is not enough. The most important thing is a relationship with God. So many young people are being told to get into a religion. That is not enough. It will leave you empty. A relationship with God will make you full and will make you fulfilled and then expressed in whatever form, if it's religion in this sense, whatever form. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is a relationship with God. The second thing, for young people specifically in Guatemala, you're only young once. And you can only make an impact once when you're young. So use the time that you're young to be able to make a difference. Don't wait for you to get, I just turned 40. Don't wait for you to get to 40 so that you can make a difference. Ask yourself, what is my burden? What passion do I have? What do I see around me that makes my heart grieve? Start doing something about it wherever you are. What opportunities are open for you? Take advantage of those opportunities. One of the things that will never come back in your life is opportunity. Once it's past, it is past. The third thing is, what resources do I have? Don't say I don't have enough. What you have can be able to start you off in the journey. And at the end of the day, ask yourself, what needs around me can I meet? At the end of the day, when your life is done as a young person, if you have not met needs of people around you, then your life has been insignificant. Your life cannot be about you. Your life cannot be how well you dress, how well you eat, how well you... It can't be about you. You'll die empty. The most important thing is to die full of memories of the people that you have impacted. Ask yourself, what needs around me can I be able to meet?
Qué lindo,
And that's the
muchísimas
most
gracias.
important thing.
Gracias, Pastor Nick, por
Thank
estar
you.
hoy con nosotros. Que disfrute Guatemala.
Yeah.
Y nosotros nos vamos a la pausa comercial rápidamente, hoy hablando sobre religiosos modernos, con mensajes muy lindos además. Ya volvemos después de la pausa.
Al volver,